Everyone knows Grace Kelly was a queen of style, but these rare moments are next level amazing.
But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories.
Grace Kelly was the Meghan Markle of yesteryear. She was a beautiful young actress who married a prince, and she had tremendous command over the fashion styles of both Hollywood and royal circles. Her impeccable looks are still revered to this day, and for very good reason. Here are 40 rare moments that demonstrate what an icon she was. There's one fashion item in particular that's always associated with Grace Kelly: white gloves. They were a major part of some of her most iconic looks. Kelly's wearing some here, as well as many other accessories that she frequently donned. A floppy hat, a fur shawl, pearl earrings, and a tastefully understated handbag. Kelly starred in the Alfred Hitchcock movie Rear Window in 1954. She appeared at the premiere wearing a spectacular Caracas dress from Christian Dior. The gown was later featured in a special Grace Kelly exhibition at the Christian Dior Museum in France, celebrating what would have been the actress's 90th birthday. This picture shows Kelly relaxing in a stylish swimsuit alongside her parents, siblings, and in-laws. They were a pretty stylish bunch. The Kelly family were wealthy right from the beginning. Grace's father, John Kelly, was as successful in business as he had been in sport, where he had scooped a hat-trick of Olympic gold medals in rowing. They could afford to dress well. Once Grace Kelly married Prince Rainier of Monaco, she stopped being an actress and instead devoted herself to royal duties. Here she is with her husband on a balcony, looking beautiful and every bit a princess in her striped coat. Allegedly, it was the prince himself who forbade her from acting again, and he had her films banned in Monaco too. Two titans of royal fashion met in March 1981. Diana's thoughts on the occasion were published in the 2017 edition of Diana. Her true story, in her own words: "I remember meeting Princess Grace and how wonderful and serene she was, but there was troubled water under her, I saw that. In a tragic coincidence, both women would die in car crashes." Even Grace Kelly's casual clothes were so much more stylish than the average. In the here and now, most of us would probably read magazines dressed in nothing more than t-shirts and sweatpants, but Kelly wore a gorgeous sleeveless top and sleek black trousers instead. Her friend's all-blue outfit isn't too shabby either. When Grace Kelly went on her first date with Prince Rainier, she wore this stunning silk gown from Schwarzenbach paired with a magnificent headpiece and, of course, a pair of white gloves. The media at the time pointed out that even though Kelly had access to multiple famous designers, she chose a dress which women could create themselves if they purchased the sewing pattern. After their civil wedding ceremony in April 1956, Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier were presented with a dove from a little girl. It was a gift from the people of Monaco and surely a nice welcome for their new princess. And Kelly herself looks rather like a dove here in her beautiful gown and ribbons. Grace Kelly's starring role in Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief is an absolute fashion tour de force. The costumes Kelly wears in the movie were created by Edith Head, who was not only a talented designer but also Kelly's close personal friend. The women collaborated on the clothes and the results were incredible. This photo was taken in 1978 when Kelly's acting days were behind her. It demonstrates complete mastery of how to dress as a slightly older woman, and one in a position of power. Everything from the patterned top to the four-leaf clover necklace to the coat slung around the shoulders is pitch perfect. Grace Kelly was a model before she was an actress, a fact that should come as a surprise to nobody. Looking at photographs such as this one, it's so easy to see why. The jeans and patterned shirt she's wearing are pretty, but fairly simple. It's her own personality and beauty which makes them so stylish. Grace Kelly gave birth to her first child just 2 months before this photo was taken at the 1958 Monaco Grand Prix. And yet she still looks as fashionable and put together as ever. She's wearing a long, summery floral print dress, a very stylish hat, and of course those famous white gloves. In April 1982, a tribute to Grace Kelly took place in Philadelphia. She caught up with her old co-stars, including Jimmy Stewart and Frank Sinatra, while Bob Hope stepped up to play host for the evening. Kelly wore something gorgeous and eye-catching, naturally, a huge, frilly yellow dress by Dior. And sadly, it was only a few months later that she passed away. This picture from 1954 features Grace Kelly showing off her legs, and why shouldn't she? If you've got it, flaunt it. But before too long, Kelly would be trading in the stylish tops and shorts for a different kind of fashion, the red carpet kind. That year Life magazine named her Hollywood's brightest and busiest new star. When Kelly became a princess of Monaco, she decided to bring a bit of her home culture along with her. Every year she would host American Week, where people played baseball and ate American food. This photo is from the 1966 American Week, and though Kelly is dressed down in a t-shirt and baseball cap, she still looks great. What would you wear for a St. Patrick's Day photo shoot? A stunning green dress, of course, covered in a white shawl. Interestingly, Kelly did actually have Irish roots and visited the country 3 times during the course of her life. She also reportedly considered the color green lucky. It certainly looked good on her. Grace Kelly met many other big names throughout her life. In 1982, she ran into actor Al Pacino and posed for this photo with him. She's wearing a frilly brown high-collar blouse and a smart pink jacket, but check out the hair. To this day, people admire Kelly's mastery of the rope braid. Yellow was a really good color on Grace Kelly. She wore an all-yellow ensemble, hat, dress, scarf, to the 1978 wedding of her daughter Princess Caroline to banker Philippe Junot. Sadly, the marriage itself lasted only 2 years in the end, but the actual wedding was a pretty exciting and glamorous occasion. This picture from 1954 wouldn't look out of place on an Instagram account. Grace Kelly would have been an absolute star of that platform. Her outfit here, which doesn't really have a bottom part and also shows off a lot of leg, would probably have been considered quite risque at the time. Kelly was of course immensely stylish, but she also didn't let style take priority over safety. Here she's wearing a headscarf, a nice striped shirt, and a life jacket. She's on her way to Monaco to marry Prince Rainier, and that dog she's carrying is no fashion accessory but her own beloved pet Oliver. This picture shows Kelly, the Princess of Monaco at this point, with her mother Margaret just before she herself became a mom. You can tell from whom Kelly inherited her fashion sense. It looks like both women favored big coats and of course perfectly curled, impeccably styled hair. A somewhat surprised and shy-looking Kelly is captured in this picture from the set of To Catch a Thief. She's wearing just one of her multiple Glorious Edith Head designed outfits from the movie. This one's a strapless white chiffon number with a stunning diamond necklace. She had no reason to look nervous, she was about to become a star. Alec Guinness looks pretty awestruck by Grace Kelly in this 1955 image, and who can blame him? With her fur shawl and pearl earrings, she looks every bit the epitome of old Hollywood glamour. There's not a single hair out of place on her head. And just 1 year later she'd marry Prince Rainier and become a literal princess. This picture shows Kelly shortly before her wedding, aboard the SS Constitution and seemingly having the time of her life. She's wearing a very stylish V-neck top, sunglasses and a shade of lipstick that really makes the whole look pop. And of course her smile was always a winning one. Before the Golden Globes were called that, they were known as the Foreign Press Awards, and here's Grace Kelly winning one. And it was a pretty impressive one, too. She got the world's film favorite actor, female, award in February 1956. So she dressed for the occasion in this beautiful patterned gown. Grace Kelly was of course usually in front of the camera, but sometimes she got behind it too. She's taking photographs of a 1972 swimming contest here, but could it have been more interesting than her own outfit? She's wearing a spectacular patterned dress and a matching pink turban, plus a variety of gold jewelry. Here's Grace Kelly at a Hollywood shindig in 1954 wearing a pilgrim collar skirt suit, some eye-catching earrings, and of course her to-go white gloves. The people with her are the hosts of the party, composer and writer Jimmy McHugh and gossip columnist Luella Parsons. Kelly definitely seems to be enjoying their company. This picture shows Kelly at the Olympics in 1960 in Rome, Italy, along with her husband and sister. And she's wearing another fashion item that would be associated with her forevermore, the headscarf. She absolutely adored them. There's even a type of scarf around at the moment that's known as the Kelly headscarf. Grace Kelly wears a pretty dress here on the set of The Swan. The movie was released to drum up publicity for Kelly's upcoming wedding. The story was also about a woman who's courted by a prince. The same woman who designed Kelly's outfits for the flick, Helen Rose, also created her wedding dress. Kelly looks stunning here in a striped playsuit aboard the SS Constitution in 1951. The more conservatively dressed woman beside her is Boston socialite Frances Gray, a friend of Kelly's who served as one of her bridesmaids when she wed Prince Rainier. In this pic, it looks like they've coordinated their outfits. This looks like it could have been a shot from one of her movies, but no, Grace Kelly really did just look like that all the time. Here she's taking a horse-drawn carriage ride while wearing a casual by her standards outfit. A soft blue dress with a white cardigan stylishly draped about her shoulders, and strappy sandals on her feet. Animal print isn't a style very much associated with Grace Kelly, but she did wear it every now and again. She's wearing a leopard pattern in this photo from 1959. Plus she's got on one of her trademark floppy hats, gloves of course, and some pearl jewelry. Kelly was always very fond of pearls. When you're a princess and a figurehead for a country, meeting your daughter's intended groom is an even bigger deal than it otherwise would have been. For this occasion, Kelly in 1977 wore a fairly simple white patterned dress, something stylish but low-key so as not to upstage her daughter Princess Caroline. Here's Kelly with two of her siblings, John B. Kelly Jr. and Elizabeth, at the Henley Royal Regatta in 1948. As previously indicated, the Kellys were a very sporty family, and John followed in the footsteps of his father and namesake to become a champion rower. But in this picture Kelly appears dressed for style more than sports. Two icons of fashion met at the White House in 1961, Jackie Kennedy and Grace Kelly. But it's hard not to think Kelly won that encounter style-wise. While the First Lady had on a simple black gown, the Princess of Monaco wore an emerald green dress and an absolutely stunning white headpiece. Kelly is seen here at the Oscars with Bing Crosby, her co-star in The Country Girl. She won that night and also showed off a magnificent sea blue dress with matching coat. It was made from French satin worth $4,000 and designed, of course, by Kelly's frequent fashion collaborator Edith Head. Grace Kelly announced her engagement to Prince Rainier in January 1956, and of course it caused a media frenzy. Photographers descended on Kelly's home and she posed for photographs there, showing off both her engagement ring, a Cartier creation made with rubies and diamonds, and this beautiful shimmering white ball gown. Kelly's brother John married Sandra Lee Worley in 1981, so of course the princess donned some finery for the wedding. She wore this green floral pattern dress. Green was a really good color on her, and put a string of pearls around her neck. Her hair was styled in the fabulous braid arrangement that celebs still emulate today. One of Kelly's most famous film outfits was this blue floor-length chiffon number from To Catch a Thief. Edith Head was the one who designed it, but she had instructions from Alfred Hitchcock to dress his leading lady like a beautiful but unapproachable ice queen. Mission accomplished. It's a truly iconic look. As is the case with a lot of female fashion icons, Grace Kelly's most famous dress of all is probably her wedding dress. It was created by Helen Rose and featured thousands of pearls, a favorite of Kelly's. Pearls also featured on the Juliet cap she wore. All in all, the gown was a massive triumph, and it's thought to have inspired royal wedding dresses for decades to come.